is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dull thing with style is preferable to doing a dangerous thing without it. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.
What's up, Pinkbike? We're back live. It's day 2 of Crankworx Whistler.
Where do I look?
This is our people right here.
Hey.
Say hi to them.
Hey, everybody.
This is our second installment of Pinkbike Live today. We got Andrew Neethling, Brendan Fairclough, and Kyle Jamison. And you guys just saw the trailer to Death Grip, the movie that Brendan and Clay Porter put together. These guys were both in it, conveniently.
Thank you.
That's a stroke of luck.
And I'm sure all of you out there have seen it, because there's not a ton of mountain bike movies, like full titles these days. So when one comes out, it's always really exciting. How hard was it for you to put together all the pieces and get that thing up and running?
Well, because of Pinkbike, thank God, we've got so much content to check out. You know, we go on every day, we see like a new 3-minute edit every day, which is super cool. But I wanted to bring it back to when I was a kid and I'd get back from school and chuck a movie on and then watch like 20 minutes of it and get straight on my bike again and just like get to know the riders, get to know the places. I was like fascinated by it all. And these days I feel like you go on and check an edit out and you watch it once or twice and that's it. So I wanted to have something with a bit of shelf life, a bit of like longevity, something that's like you put your heart and soul into, you know. We did, and we KJ 6 section with our dog. We had Andrew in South Africa, we had Madeira, we had Ratboy in Austria, we had Brandon Semenak. We got a sick crew, and took a long time, took some stress, I lost some hair, and but it's worth it, it's cool. Proud of it.
It's so worth it. You had an all-star crew, and like you said, when you were growing up, you just like to pop in the actual movie and watch something that's a full duration, gets you psyched. I know I grew up that way too. That's what got me psyched on movies, is full segments. So I think it was cool that you actually did it in a time when it's kind of harder to put the pieces together to pull it off. And each segment kind of had its own vibe, and you had all these different riders. One segment that really stood out for me was the one that you guys did in that dusty section. That was in South Africa, right?
Yeah, that was a super cool one. Every section had like a different vision. I wanted to make it like really different, and he's got a super cool place down Helderberg Trails in Cape Town, and we built some rad stuff. And I was talking to the guy that helped us build, and I was like, I want to build this big bomb hole, and you disappeared and out into works and stuff, and he's just like,
yeah.
But yeah, we cool. It was good.
Yeah, we just had you had the vision, and then our builder Duran and my partner Jan, like, we were on Skype to Bren, and we were kind of sketching what he wanted, and I would go out into the field and send him pics like, hey, how's this ridge looking? He's like, that'll be cool. He had no idea, so we purpose built it, and I grew up the same. You know, I'm in South Africa, so I actually didn't even get to ride or see better riders. All I knew was like people on videos. So I was studying those videos, race videos, free ride videos. That's how I learned. I remember back when I was a kid, like I popped in, Sven Martin would always come out in December, and I would say, hey, bring me all the new DVDs, you know, and he'd bring me like a stack. And one was like Kurt Flores doing a bar spin. And within a day, I was like, Sven, I've learned bar spins, but I didn't know it was possible until I watched the DVD. So I think that made it super special that Brendan wanted me involved, built it in my home bike park, Huldick Trails, and luckily his vision came to, you know, fruition to life the way he wanted it. It was just a really fun film segment. I think it was great to like start the film, I guess, with a buddy back home, you know?
Yeah, I think the thing that stood out for me about that segment was how you guys captured like some actual real banter about riding the spot. Like that shot where you guys are driving in the van, talking about who's gonna gap to whatever it was, the fifth roller or something like that. Yeah. Like it's cool to have that feeling that it's not contrived, you know? Like, was that footage captured on the sly? Was Clay like sneaking back there, or do you guys plan that whole storyline?
iPhone footage plays in the back, like we're talking shit.
Yeah, and, you can say whatever you want.
He's just capturing it like...
Well, he says no. We can't say whatever we want.
On his phone, but there's a ton kind of that stuff that we were like, should we put it in, should we not? And I was like, yeah, dude, put it. You got to put it in.
Yeah.
I quite liked a bit more of it, but yeah.
It's a nice balance between, you know, the high production value, top-notch riding that takes forever to accomplish because you have to build the unique features. You have to be out there at the right time where the light's nice, the wind is low.
And ride the same section 50 times.
Yeah,
like we did in Santa Cruz.
Maybe more. Yeah, we rode one berm like maybe 80 times.
Yeah. That's what people at home don't realize, though, is to make an actual film, the amount of time that goes into getting, like you said, just one shot of a certain berm.
Yeah, no doubt. It's like we have a cable going, we got a guy on sticks, we have a photo guy, and you know, let's say the cable gets the shot, but then we have 3 riders as well. Maybe one of the riders doesn't feel good about it. We're like, oh, we got to do it again because I messed it up.
Yeah.
Then we get it, we nail it, riders nail it, cable goes slow, they miss the focus pull, then it's like, oh, the cable jacked up. So
many times one party nails their side of the puzzle. Like, you got the ride exactly the way you want.
Yeah.
But like you said, the cable's a little off. It all has to come together. And then to put together like a 40-minute film, how long was it?
51 minutes.
51 minutes, yeah.
Wow.
But then we had some help. Well, obviously, where we filmed with KJ, like KJ, our dog, and the crew built this amazing trail, you know. So I was lucky enough I didn't have to build that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the sections I went out there to scout and then to build. And then KJ actually came to build the Utah with me. So we were actually in Santa Cruz.
Huge day.
Filming that all day, and then I saw this zone. We checked this zone. I was like, KJ, we're gonna go check that zone out. You want to come? And he's like, sure. Got in the truck, 16-hour drive or whatever it is.
After filming all day.
Yeah.
We filmed from 7 to 6, and then we hopped in my truck and then started driving to Utah that night.
So yeah.
And
It's non-stop. So how long was the filming window until you got, like, from when you guys first rolled the first gigabyte of footage to when you completely locked up editing?
Probably 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
That's like from where I started to scout. But our first section we filmed to when the movie came out was 18 months.
Wow. It's worth it though, man. You know, you can piece together a quick 3-minute edit, but there's something to be said about the film as something that's necessary.
I just wish we had like an actual DVD, you know, like to have it in front, but it's not worth doing these days, you know, and everything's online and blah blah blah.
It's almost like printing a vinyl record or something. You do it just for the fun of it, have something to hold on to.
Just to have it, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but realistically, everybody's actually going to just stream Bluetooth from their phone to their wireless speakers.
Well, even like the new MacBooks, you can't even put a DVD in it. You can't even put a USB.
I've been trying, man. I pushed really hard over here. It never disappears.
jam it in there.
Let's see if we got any questions from the internet. Speaking of computers. So I think this one's for you, Brendan. Ibex Rider. This is from Pinkbike. He says, in the UK, there's not much to ride in terms of downhill compared to Canada and the US, etc. However, you guys own the field. How come?
That's always been a good question like the whole time. I think what I put it down to is people live, well, this is going to probably sound weird, people that have all that riding on their doorstep, they can just go out and ride, you know, whereas we have to kind of work for it more. It's sometimes shitty weather. Where I ride, there's like 40-second runs, and we just do like 20 of them a day. So you ride the same track over and over and get to know it, and you learn how to turn, you learn how to jump, you learn how to do whatever. Whereas I think, you know, like you come to Whistler and you ride like 10 different trails in a day, you're like pottering down every trail. You're not really learning much, you're just getting to the bottom.
Yeah, you never really broke down the technique
of
one specific corner or something.
So like if you have a shorter trail, then you get to know it and you think, I hit that turn badly last time, I'll get it better this time, and you can learn. I think that's why, just like shorter trails that you can learn this stuff. Whereas if you're riding everything different the whole time, you're just cruising.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that for sure. It's similar to how there's so many world-class Swedes in slopestyle, and they ride these little indoor bike parks, but they're like refining every tiny little detail of a trick or where they land. When they come here, you would think they would be completely overwhelmed with these huge jumps, but they just, you know, they've broken it down to a science, and they just, you know, apply those techniques to the bigger stuff. So there's your answer. Just find a 40-second section of trail and just repeat it and rip those corners. So, KJ, we got a question for you here. On a scale of FMB to Fest Series, this is from a Pinkbike viewer, how rad is it to make a living out of riding?
A scale of FMB to Fest Series.
I'm not sure how you quantify a scale of FMB to Fest Series.
Well,
this is from Paul Hayson.
Paul Hayson. So
No, it's not. Well, that's you.
Paul Hasten. I don't think Paul wrote this one, but he might.
Yeah.
Making a living out of mountain biking has been a dream of mine, and I don't know how to put that into scale from FMB to Fest Series, but they're both rad aspects of mountain biking, and if you're doing either of them, making a living of it, you're stoked. And for me personally, doing this for a living is just a dream come true. It hasn't been easy. It doesn't just come to your doorstep. You got to work for it. You got to find your niche and figure out the way you want to go about it. But yeah, it's a dream, and I'm loving it. Still loving
I
it.
don't understand, is Fest Series cool or is FMB cool?
Oh, I mean,
On the spot.
For you, it's Fest
yeah,
Series.
personally for me, Fest Series.
Fest Series is cool.
But
If that's what you're talking about, find your niche. And
Yeah.
you found something that totally fits with the type of riding that you like, the crew you like to hang out with. And the next question for you kind of plays into that. Which of the following gets you most stoked? Dropping in from the top of the tower at Darkfest or leaving the gate at the top of the Rampage course? How many Rampages have you competed in?
I did two.
You did
I did
two.
two qualifiers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, say that's. You did 2 Rampages.
Two
Yeah,
Rampages.
exactly.
You go through the motions.
Qualifying is an event at Rampage.
That's true.
Hell yeah,
Very
that's
true.
way
Straight up
more.
event.
Down that crazy mountain is
That's way more
Right.
scary.
achievement, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what
Well, yeah, so it's like,
qualifier or practice run, that place
Exactly.
looks insane.
right, you're riding Rampage.
That's insane.
Did you ever do it? I'm trying to think.
Oh, thank goodness.
Were you ever
no.
tempted?
I was back in the day. Like, I actually did the Joyride slopestyle.
I remember that.
04.
When you were on Turner or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 04. So I was like, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I think Sam Hill told me that. He's like, dude, are you going to race? Or I could have gone either way if I
Yeah.
wanted to, but I obviously wanted to race.
Yeah.
So in that realm and at that stage, I kind of wanted to, but I quickly realized like risk versus reward. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to race and I didn't want to risk an injury or something.
Because
like
you
that.
had a ton of tricks. Like going back to what we first started talking about, how we all were so dependent on those videos, the actual
Yeah.
VHS and DVDs. I was always psyched on watching your stuff. You were
Yeah.
always chucking
Appreciate
tricks,
that.
like in your race runs too. And then it used to be like the age of jump jams, like
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
West
I love
Virginia,
that.
Vermont,
Yeah,
Norbuz, Lanowski would always have everybody over to his house for jump jams, and you'd always get a ton of footage there, doing the bar spins and stuff.
Yeah, I loved
Sick
it. I think
tables.
it just made it so fun in between the races, and to me that was like kind of helped my confidence if I learned a new trick or I pushed myself and scared myself. And then I got to the point smarter, older, and then a bit more scared. I honestly won't go to
Smarter.
Rampage now.
Yeah,
I think
Smarter.
I call it smarter.
Smarter.
I call it smarter. I still do a lot of dumb stuff. I'm a slow learner, but I think honestly now I'm scared. Like what these guys do out there, I'm not willing to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like Rampage. Back
Yeah.
when I was 20, I probably would have done it,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't smart for racing. But
Right.
now I actually don't want to do it. Like
But
Rampage.
you're doing Darkfest next year,
I was gonna
right?
say, would
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
a fest event?
I think I will. There's like warm-up jumps.
Yeah.
I might do Darkfest, yeah.
So like, what's the Darkfest or Rampage gets me more stoked?
Yeah, when you're in the Stargate, this is what, we don't have the name of the viewer, but that's what the viewer was asking. More stoked. I would imagine stoked, scared,
Yeah, like
one more
the
than the
stoked
other.
to scared factor. Like, yeah, Darkfest freaks me out just climbing to the top of the tower. So like, that scares me, and then dropping in off. There's a level of relief, I
Yeah.
would say, you know. But like for Darkfest, it's like way more of a excitement stoke. Like I'm excited to get down and ride those jumps and then do it again. Rampage is like a relief and kind of like a prestigious like feeling. You're like, oh yes, I'm doing this.
Part of this.
I'm scared out of my mind, but still really, really stoked to do it.
I think like Rampage is like so much pressure as well.
Yeah.
Even if no one's putting on you, it's on yourself.
Yes.
Well, I guess Darkfest, I guess a fest is like chill.
It's very,
That's the
yeah,
idea of the whole
exactly, yeah,
thing, though.
totally.
Yeah.
Way more
I mean,
relaxed.
I've never done one, but it seems chill and cool.
So
Whereas
somebody's
Rampage is
asking
like-
for you, Brendan. Like first part of this comment probably isn't relevant. This question: plans after racing, because I don't think you're anywhere near done racing.
For sure not.
Going hard on that, but they're wondering more Rampage, more films. So are you doing Rampage this year? First of all,
Yes, I got on the list. I might do it.
and you've got a line out there to revisit already.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cased it by about 6 inches last year.
Yeah,
And
I was standing right
did
there.
both my thumbs, so I've got to go and find a couple of Ks more speed, and then we can get over there.
Yeah, not even like a half a K or
Yeah.
something. It was
Yeah.
so close. That was like right at sundown too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was
Scary.
I was stupid. It was like getting late, and I've got this like horrible, weird, stupid thing that I have to do on the third attempt.
Oh, nice.
So which is cool and which is not cool.
But if you're
you
not
know?
ready, then it's a very stupid
So
rule
I
to
rolled
follow.
in, did it once. I was like, yeah, I feel pretty good. Like also me, I'm scared at Rampage, so I try to build stuff that's not super blind, because I don't like that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I see all these guys like huge blind drop
Oh,
offs.
yeah.
It's so nice.
That's why you do the canyon gaps. You can always
yeah,
see
so I
the
can just
land.
check it
yeah.
out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And then they look good from the side too. 'Cause
Yeah,
you got
they-
this big depth chasm.
Anyway, I saw it and I checked it out and I was like, yeah, I think I got it. And then I pushed back up, and obviously it takes ages to push up at Rampage, blah, 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 getting dark. And I was like, it's the third time I've got to do it. And I was going to do it kind of, that's stupid, I was going to do it kind of regardless how everyone came in.
Yeah.
And I thought I came in good, blah, 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 and then I just, like you saw, I cased it. But yeah, like you said, I've got a bit of redemption, so we'll see. I wasn't going to do it the whole year. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, I've survived it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I didn't make the cut for World Champs. I had a bit of a weird year, and I feel like my speed's there, but it just didn't work or whatever. So I feel like no World Champs, better go to Rampage. So
I feel like November through maybe June, July, a lot of Rampage competitors probably aren't going to do Rampage. And then all of a sudden August rolls around, it's like, yeah, what the heck?
go on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So they also asked the same commenter. They asked about Rampage, but they also asked about would you plan to do more films? Would you guys ever do a follow-up to Death Grip, or is it the same thing as Rampage? Is you say no until all of a sudden the time is right?
Yeah, like for sure, it's way more work than I thought, but it's so rewarding. But I've got no plans right now to do another film.
Yeah.
Like we've laid it down, and I want to just like surf on that for a bit and focus on my racing a lot more as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to do a lot more years of that yet, but for sure that's where it's going, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy riding with buddies and blah blah blah. So that's where it's going to go, but we'll see. I don't know.
One
I
thing at
wanna
a
race.
time.
I want to race.
Yeah.
For the time being.
That's good. And somebody asked your opinion on the status of the BDS series at the moment. What was that?
The what series?
British
That's
Downhill
the
Series.
British Downhill Series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was.
I don't actually do too many of those,
Yeah.
but I'd like to do more, but we travel so much to the World Cups and all this other stuff, but it's definitely a thriving, the British downhill scene is incredible. It needs to crack on. I'll do more, but I don't know, it's good. We need to find some new tracks, for
So
sure.
more than 40-second long tracks?
Yeah, no, maybe just 40-second ones.
Yeah. All right, well, we need some for Needles and KJ. You got any for Needles and KJ in there? In the queue? Huh? Under Pinkbike, okay. So this works for everybody. What is your favorite piece of bike clothing / gear not attached to your bike?
I like the helmet.
You've got a whole collection at your house too, of
Yeah.
all your custom painted helmets.
I love helmets. Yeah, there's something about them. There's something about making your helmet yours too, like getting them custom painted or putting your own sticker job on it. And I think helmet or goggles are like my favorite thing. Yeah.
Sticker in a helmet is so fun.
Yeah,
You
it's
get it, and you're
weird.
like, oh yeah, I put all the stickers on.
Yeah, when you're a little guy, you save up all your stickers in a shoebox. That was me.
But
And
what
then-
about when you were a kid and you
Little
saw
guy
the pros with the
slash
custom
what I do
painted
now.
ones?
Yes.
Like I just always wanted a custom painted helmet, and then when I
Totally.
finally got one, I was
And then you smash it up on accident.
yeah, pretty much.
They never last.
Do you guys
Alright.
do
The
the
drop,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you.
100% do the drop.
Yeah.
Yep.
On every helmet.
For
And
those
it
of you
has
out
to,
there, that's like the
scratch.
superstitious thing where you're supposed to drop your helmet and let it hit the ground from at least like waist height before you wear
And
it.
it has to like chip or scratch.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be.
And a lot of
Some is
people,
awful. Like you do, and you're like.
yeah, a lot of people
like a
obey
brand
that
new
rule.
painted one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do it, or else it's gonna happen on your head.
Yeah.
Normally the first ride or day.
Do you do that, Brad?
Hell yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Right.
So I got one for you. Nobody's asking this question, but you've made some changes, Needles, in the last year, and you're doing a lot of cool things. You're doing a lot of commentating at these events, Crankworx series. And you've also got a bike shop, right? Tell us about your bike shop.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy transition. I'm super lucky to be able to still be doing what I'm doing in a different role, and it was always an idea I had. is like when I raced, I was just super single-minded and super focused, and hopefully that helped me get to where I was. But I said no to a lot of things, like trips, like getting to know KJ. Just went on a trip. That was awesome, riding backcountry. So that's the Scott deal that came about. And then, yeah, like I've been helping kind of grow the riding at home. We've helped build this bike park. I didn't do all the building, I won't lie. Like, I don't mind lifting a shovel, and I definitely try build when I'm home, but I was racing as well. And then on the way to this bike park, there was this venue, and my brother obviously raced, and then kind of like a professional mechanic now, and this other partner. We had our eyes on this venue, and just crazy turn of events, the lease came up, and we kind of looked at each other, and we said, are we doing this? You know, it's probably a silly idea, and it's going to just cause a lot of stress, but I just feel like if it's going to get more people into riding, you know, like I remember going to a bike shop, and we've created a hangout. It's called the Hangar Bike Co. We've got a coffee barista in the corner, space outside. It's on the way to the trails, all the big trails at home. So if you're ever in South Africa, check us out on Instagram and Facebook, but come see us. You know, I want to create a hangout post ride or pre. We did a night ride the other day. Just want to grow the community.
It's right by the trails too, right?
It's right by the trails, but right in my hometown. And yeah, like I said, as a kid and as a grom, I would go in the bike shop, and it was a cool place to hang out. So we got like the Hall of Fame wall, like got big TV, got all me and my brother's helmets, got like a Palmer jersey, I got a PD jersey, got a shooter, got Brendan. I'll need a KJ one, you know. So old memorabilia, and yeah, like I said, I want the kids to be stoked and somewhere to go, you know.
That's so rad. A lot of people have the dream to do that, but not so many people actually. Like you said, it's probably a silly idea, but it could completely be successful. You've got the right location, so it's cool that you just pulled the trigger and committed to it. And yeah, I would love to make it down there sometime to pay a visit. But you mentioned that shoot you guys were just on, and I think all three of you were up there shooting in Braylorn, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah, amazing. It's
super fun.
Like I said, it's something I would probably never have done when I was racing, or if I wasn't still in the sport. We got an amazing opportunity to go like backcountry to Braylorn. KJ's been there before, right? Not for
very shortly, yeah. Just like kind of stopped through about 8-9 years ago, but yeah, it's like a ghost town. Like literally, it's a ghost town with like 9 living residents there.
There's a lot of backcountry skiing and snowboarding that goes on there, right?
Yeah.
Living residents, so they're dead ones that live there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the thing we heard?
Yeah.
Well, it's honestly a place that there might be someone in a basement tied up. It's that
Yeah,
kind of,
it's
but it's an old mining town that was obviously thriving back in the day.
Yeah, like the 30s, it had 5,000 residents.
Yeah. But the riding, it's like you're in the middle of nowhere, and there's these amazing either horse trails or purposeful mountain bike trails in the middle of nowhere. We're off the beaten track, and yeah, I think everyone's going to like the edit. And
You guys were on trail bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones over here.
That one.
There you go.
Yeah.
The new Genius.
You know what? Like, I was expecting like to not have any internet or service on my phone. We got there and there was internet, there was Wi-Fi, and I was kind of like,
Yeah, it sucks.
yeah, like I was kind of bleak. But anyway, we used it all the time. This Instagram story. Instagram stories is now like Instagram TV, by the way. Now we have like we
we've
sat down
renamed it.
in the
Yeah.
evening and we go through the TV channels on Instagram stories.
Everyone's got their own channels.
Yeah.
Oh, what's on your TV?
That was what's cool about Death Grip too, though, is because everybody loves that candid stuff. That's why the Instagram story works so well.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys kind of sprinkled that in there through the film, like that segment with you and Rat Boy.
Yeah.
I honestly felt like that was one lap, and it
Yeah.
was your first lap. How long did it take to shoot that? It was a Schladming, right?
Yeah, that was actually the quickest shoot we did.
So
Like,
it was
that
actually
took-
pretty rapid
That
fire.
took zero prep. Like the track's already there. We flew in for 3 days, and then Ratboy was obviously Josh was obviously racing, one of the best racers, but not really into racing anymore. And I was thinking like, is he gonna want to film, and like, is he gonna be like psyched to go film? We got there. He like woke me up in the morning like, let's go film, let's go film. And I'm like,
When is he
"Okay,
not
sick."
psyched?
And we woke
That's
up
awesome.
and we went up the top of the hill, and I was like, dude, you're leading this whole section for sure. Like you know, he's a top 5 World Cup racer.
Yeah.
So we dropped in, and like you know, and every morning we're like, okay, go easy. It's the first run.
Yeah, right.
Dude, out the gate. I honestly, like first few runs, I was like, I don't think I can keep up with this dude. He's going so sick.
He's mental.
And then so every morning we did 2 full GoPro runs to get the footage we wanted.
Yeah.
So we just do like halfway down 4 runs, and dude, like we were so pumped. Like we get halfway down, like high-fiving each other, and just it was just so rad. And he was on fire. He was on fire.
Oh my god.
So that made it cool. And then after that, we obviously filmed, like we cruised down into the film. We filmed it in like 2.5 days. It was cool.
And it shows, man. Like, it's hard to recreate that feeling of actually riding a trail way too fast with a friend.
Yeah.
And the way you guys shot that, it really did the job. 'Cause it sounds like you did those POV laps, and then you probably went back in with the real cameras for the details and stuff. Because it felt like it was chronologically just boom, one lap.
There was stuff that Josh was doing that you can't do on a mountain bike, and I was like,
I feel like in terms of bike handling, he's probably like peaking right now.
Yeah,
he may not be racing, but he's doing so much on the bike.
I think like when you're a racer, you have so many, like, you feel obliged to train and go to the gym and this and the other. And I think sometimes that gets in the way of just going out and riding your bike.
Oh yeah, I see that.
For sure, like I'll be like, oh, I feel bad, I should go to the gym. Whereas when back in the day, I'll bring it up, back in the day when I was getting World Cup podiums, I was riding pump track and I was riding dirt jumps.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the gym, I didn't go on a trail bike, but you have to these days. It's how the sport has evolved, and you need that power, you need that strength, but there's no substitute for just getting out on your bike and riding it and ripping it as hard as you can.
At the end of the day, no matter how strong you are, you still have to make that bike do exactly what your brain wants it to do. And timing, the pump track, and the dirt jumps, all that comes into play.
And bike fitness, you're still probably fitter than you thought. I always looked at Rennie like he never physically trained, but man, back in the day when he was doing as well as we rode here just all day, every day when we were here. And I know between the races like that, when I hung out with those guys, it was dirt jumping every day, or we didn't really have trail bikes back then, so it was dirt jumping. Now you got trail bikes, but I think what he's saying is there's no substitute for bike time. You know, like it's a fine line now with fitness that we're seeing with the World Cuppers. Some guys are pushing more on the fitness, and some guys still on the bike.
And then you got a young kid like climbing up the ranks. I think about Finn Isles, and I feel like that kid gets more laps here than anybody. He's like non-stop just lapping garbanzos.
Dude,
so it's cool
growing up in Whistler, like it's like,
for sure.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, he's got 10,000 hours by the time he's 13, you know?
I remember that kid when he was like 8 or something like that, hanging around, and now to see where he is.
Doing summer gravity camps as a little guy, with chocolate on his face.
I mean, he did a full World Cup year just pre-riding the courses, so by the time he's going to be first year elite, he's technically done 3 seasons. Whereas Bran as a junior did some racing. I only went overseas when I was 19, so it's in any sport, you know, they're just starting younger.
Well, there wasn't even a junior category for you guys, right? At World Cups?
We had to qualify in the main, in the big boys before, but whereas those guys now have their own, which is cool because it makes it like consistent and the same guys are there, but back in the day there could have only been 3 juniors that even qualified in the main event, you know, so it's like it was tougher, but it's how it is. It's cool. Now those guys get their own podiums and prize money and champagne and stuff before they
not even 18, but they like it looks like completely the same like mirror image of the elite category.
And then they get in the big class and like, whoa, this is a big league now. Like, what do we do?
I mean, it's probably good for the future downhill racing though, because you got these kids who are full-on pro teams before they're even 18.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's impressive. But you mentioned summer gravity camps.
Yes.
Meeting Finn when he was a little kid. You were a little kid doing summer gravity camps when you first started riding, and then you carried on and done so much with big bike free riding, but you kind of started with dirt jumping and everything, and now it's to the point where you're a fixture on the Fest series, but you're also judging Rampage. And I know last year when you decided that you were going to accept the opportunity to do that, you were pretty nervous. Are you going to do it again this year?
Yes, I am actually. I just heard probably like last week or something that I'll be judging again, and still the same.
Is that why you're hanging out with him so much?
Yeah. Dinner every night.
Yeah, he's doing back rubs and trying to do weird things. No.
So you like the canyon gaps? He's talked you into loving canyon gaps?
Yeah, canyon gaps.
He's telling you how hard they are all the time.
How much scarier they are.
Here as well.
If you don't like blind landings, then maybe try practicing your canyon gaps not in the dark. That might help next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's blind if it's nighttime,
I was too
dude.
scared. I figured in the dark I wouldn't be able to
Can't see it. Yeah. But no, same amount of nerves. At first last year, yeah, you're right. I said to Todd Barber, the Rampage coordinator, that I need some time to think about it.
Yeah.
At first I didn't commit right away.
A lot of riders are saying that same thing. A lot of riders that are on the list are like, give me some time. I don't want to commit yet.
Yeah, because it's scary.
Daunting.
It's daunting. And with the judging side of things, there's been so much like drama in the past about it. It's got kind of like, it's on this pedestal already.
Yeah, there's pressure.
So you got to do it right. But being a rider in the event, also a digger for the event, and understanding what goes into it, I think that makes for a perfect storm as a judge.
Yeah.
So
Well, coming in year 2, too, you got a little bit more experience.
That's
and
true.
I'm gonna watch any exchanges from pocket to pocket of money between you two guys.
You know
Make
what's
sure there's
funny?
no funny
Like
business.
No, you guys just learn about Bitcoin, so you can
Yeah.
do it. No one's gonna know.
Nobody will see.
No one's gonna know, guys.
Last
send it
week,
like this.
KJ was like, you know, like, being a judge actually sucks because you actually have to watch every run and everything that goes down. It's like, oh, that guy's going off a jump. Whipple will be like, ah!
Yeah.
No, it's true.
He's actually got to watch it, and he's
Yeah.
like, that kind of sucks about it.
Yeah.
Because you're usually watching it like this.
No doubt, like last year when Graham was coming in, you could see him setting up for the 3, and like my initial reaction was to go like this, but I gotta watch and be like, is it good? And then he fell, and I was just like, man, I really wish I could have closed my eyes for my homeboy right there.
And
But
just go, oh, tell me what happened.
exactly, but you know, that's just part of it all.
Yeah, well, I'm stoked you're going to be back for it. It seemed like it went well last year, so
Yeah.
everything working in the right direction. So we've got a question from a YouTube viewer, somebody who follows the Pinkbike YouTube account.
Cool.
Brandon Neethling, his name's Colin McMaster, and I'm assuming he's probably from South Africa. He asks, hey Andrew, any tip for a South African rider getting onto the DH World Cup circuit and a team? You've obviously done it. Any tips for Colin?
Yeah, so that brings us back to the point we spoke about the junior category. It's catch-22 because I kind of don't like it, but that's because I'm old school, because I had to go fight for it as an elite. Now, the juniors that leave school and are kind of getting more reps here are getting onto these teams early as a junior, and then they're getting first pick as elite teams. So that's now really tricky for a South African rider, or any rider that's not from like kind of Europe or North America.
Yeah.
So the key to that is you need experience, but you also need funding to get overseas. You need to get overseas to ride some of these tracks and do as many events as you can. I was lucky, my father took me over and we did an event before World Champs, then World Cup finals. I was super lucky to do that, so I got a bit of experience. So to answer, like a South African rider, it's race as much as you can, prepare as much as you can, study these videos, these clips, ride as much varied terrain as you can, so that when you get overseas, you're a little bit more prepared. But you have to get overseas and go to Europe and ride like 5 minutes of downhill where your arms are just burning, and in South Africa you can't do that. So England, they're kind of lucky. I know Brent went to Morzine quite early in his career. Those sort of trips. Yeah, start washing a lot of cars, you know, save your pennies and get overseas. That's the only way you're going to do it, and go and kind of fight for it.
Wise words. That's cool. I like how we can get these questions here, and that's some valuable information for a young downhill racer from South Africa. So back it up, rewatch it a few times. Top question. All right, we got a good question here apparently from the Pinkbike, the YouTube, or the Facebook? From Pinkbike. All right. Okay, this is cool. We'll start with Kyle because he's the closest here. What was your favorite moment in your entire career so far?
Whoa.
That's the big one.
Oh, drop the bomb.
That's a brain buster. Oh. Well, thing is,
We're live on Pinkbike.
Live on
This is
Pinkbike,
the
almost
pinnacle,
like
dude.
Don't drop it.
every time we go ride, it's like almost like a highlight. Like last night's laps, we were
That was sweet.
just got to Whistler. We're so stoked to be here riding together, and it's like that's just a highlight already. But I guess a highlight in my whole career would probably be getting my run done in Rampage 2015 or 15. I wanted to do this run. I wanted to do a big 3 on the big jump, and
Yeah, that was a good run.
yeah, it felt
yeah,
so
yeah.
good to land clean and just ride through the gates. And I think either that or being a part of Death Grip was super cool. That was a huge highlight. So in the last like 2 years have been like extra highlighted for me, as well as anytime I'm like just on a bike.
Yeah, any top to bottom completed run at Rampage, because it's so like nerve-wracking at the top,
Yeah.
especially getting your line but then landing that 3, and that's like your opposite 3 too.
Yeah.
I guess you spin that way mostly on the downhill bike,
Yeah, kind of weirdo with that, but
but it's like the worst thing ever at the start because you're so nervous, but through the finish line, like that had to have felt like an instinct for your highlight. Just getting one in the books, man.
something I'll never forget.
I remember
right.
seeing that. That was pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was rad. On that razor jump, yeah?
Yeah, or YT jumper.
Oh, YT.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, sick.
But it was really cool.
So Brendan, same question because they want to know this this question. They want answers from all of you. Career highlight. That's always like the hardest question, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, we haven't had it yet. I haven't had it
Yeah,
yet.
that's a good answer.
I haven't had it yet.
Stay tuned.
Guy, just got out of that
I
one.
haven't had it yet.
So Needles, you just finished racing World Cups, so you probably had some time to reflect. You're off doing a bunch of other stuff now. But when you're reflecting, what is your career highlight?
Yeah, when you're in it, you're just so focused on the next goal. But I kind of had the biggest break I had was probably, which got me onto the factory team, was when I won Norber. And Norbers were super big back in the day. Like Greg was doing them, PD was coming over for 1 or 2, Rainy, Sam were doing them. So it was kind of like if you got a Norber podium, it was close to a World Cup podium.
Oh heck yeah!
Back in the day. So there was like 2 highlights, I think, is when I won that Norber. I never, when I, like at home, wanting to go pro, and I got on the teams and I was racing these races, I never dreamed of winning one or getting a World Cup podium. But the better I got, then those were the new goals. So when I won, I was just like, it was the greatest feeling, you know, at that time. And then after that, I worked super hard and I got so close to a World Cup podium for years, man. Like I almost got one in that year in 05. And then it took me till 2010, I want to say, and I would qualify 4th. I would be 5th at the split, and then I would get 8th at the finish. You know, and I was just either blowing it, or just not fast enough, or just getting nervous. So it really, I think it kept me in the sport. Kind of like PD, like stayed so long to win that World Champs, and I was just like, it's right there. What's going on?
Yeah.
So to finally get involved, so my first World Cup podium, now it's just like, such a relief. You know, because I never planned for it, but then I kind of saw I could do it, so I was like, I have to do this now.
That's what kept you motivated,
So
just being so close
it
for
kept
so
me
long.
motivated. There was this annoying carrot for so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
years.
it just kept getting dangled.
And then obviously it was like, shit, you got one, you want more.
Yeah.
So to get the second one and the third, I was like very proud of that. You know, I never thought that I could do it. You know, I never dreamt as a kid to do that, and then doing it was amazing.
Where was that Norbo win? What race
That was in Idaho. Yeah, back in
like
Idaho.
Sandpoint or whatever.
Yeah,
that race was?
Sandpoint, Idaho, and like thinking back, like I would suffer from a bit of arm pump, and I somehow got some of these
That was a rough
podiums
track
on
too.
tracks
That was
super
dusty.
rough.
And
If I went back there now, I'd get like 45th.
Yeah.
I was like, I would overthink and I'd get arm pump. But back when you're a kid, I was just going for it.
What about your career highlight, dude?
me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
Oh, me? Oh, I
Turn
can,
the
I'm gonna ask
tables.
a question. Answer a question. So I snapped my leg in half. That's not the highlight. But I snapped my leg in half one year.
And then I got morphine, and that was so sick.
Yeah, that was a highlight. That ambulance ride, that stuff felt good. No, but then the next year I went back and I did the same trick and won the event and stuff like that. And I didn't actually think about it until like later that night. I was like, oh yeah, this is the same place where I broke my leg last year and stuff like that.
Whoa.
So I think that like, because you always have to answer that question, you know? So you always have to think about it. And so that's the one I always use because it's kind of a good story. And it did feel good. Not as good as the morphine, but it did feel good.
Hell yeah.
But I think after
Don't do drugs, kids.
not too much. Oh, while we do
Not too much.
we're doing a changeover apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, KJ.
All good.
Cheers,
Pinkbike.
Yes,
Thank you,
Cameron. Get some laps later.
Yeah.
But it sounds cliche, like he brought it up, like the memories last night, and I was honestly like kid in mechanics, still building my downhill bike. I don't ride as much downhill anymore. I'm doing a lot of trail stuff, commentary.
Woohoo!
So I think the highlight.
So appropriate. We got
Oh
the
my
Canadian
goodness.
girl in the flag coming in, and she's
They were
dropping
live.
trees.
She's dropping trees.
She just fell this tree right here on her way in. Oh, we're not on, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we are. Okay, good. Gates Brown.
Yeah,
What's
how's it
up? Have a seat.
Yeah.
KJ warmed it up for you.
Oh, it is
Sorry for
nice
interrupting you there, Andrew. That tree fell over.
It's going to sound cliche, but I think when I reflect, and I've said it before, I think a highlight is like the memories.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I noted all those results, but those results are going to fade, and now I'm getting slower, and like we're doing the common thing. That's super fun. But the highlight to me is like the opportunity and the memories and the friendships I've formed. Like,
Yeah.
with Carl and doing all the riding. That's a highlight of my career. It's just traveling the world, meeting people. And
It's hard to
doing
put
all
that
of
into
That's
words,
a real highlight.
But that's the truth, right? It's the experiences.
Yeah, that's actually gonna last longer than any result, you know, 'cause
Sure.
that just fades.
Yeah, it's probably pretty cool still seeing everybody too, even though you're not following the racing as a racer right now. You're going to a ton of the events, you're commentating.
Yeah.
You've been loving that?
I have. It's been super enjoyable. It's actually more enjoyable than I thought. I thought it might just be like a job, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to pay some bills and it'll be fun, but it's really fun. It's challenging, like you know. the nerves in a different way come up when they're like 5, 4, 3, we're going live, and I gotta not swear, so I'm doing okay for now on that.
You're not doing so well on that.
Really.
No,
So,
but he's killing it.
but to your point, I think if I didn't do something like that and I just, did the bike shop at home and transitioned cold turkey, it would have been harder because all these friendships that we're like forming and getting to do,
Still get to be here, hang with everybody.
Yeah.
So sick. Casey Brown.
Yeah, what's happening?
Let's have a big welcome for Casey Brown. Let's get some questions in for her. I thought you would have brought Snuff.
Yeah.
Where's Snuff?
Snuff's out riding.
Oh yeah, of course. Snuff gets down.
Yeah.
That dog has more adventures than most humans I know. I saw a photo. Yeah, there's Snuff. I saw a photo on your Instagram of Snuff taking his first helicopter ride.
Yeah, that has happened last week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not too many people get to get on a helicopter. Not on purpose anyway. Some people get on accident.
Stand-up paddleboards.
Yeah, she loves it. She's a real sporty dog.
I said he.
Yeah, she looks like a boy.
She's gonna.
I don't
She's gonna.
All dogs look like boys. They've all got beards.
Yeah.
This is true.
But Casey, you're not racing the Enduro World Series this week because you're hurt. I heard it's your shoulder. What happened there?
Well, pushed up to the top of stage 4 on practice day 1, and first trail of the day, pushed up for like an hour and a half. Got into the trail, third corner, go down onto my shoulder, and just sprained my AC joint pretty bad.
Oh, okay. So it was AC. It wasn't actually the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like, the AC joint, for those of you, if you're a mountain biker, you probably have done it. It's just this annoying, dumb little thing that connects your acromion to your clavicle. It can be a pain in the ass.
Is that when you lift your shoulders?
Oh
like
yeah, when you
super
try to
there.
do a manual or something, it's like ridiculous. So you're sitting this one out, you get to hang. But last night during Speed and Style, we had you on camera, and it looks like you were designing a helmet for whoever won the fantasy. Crankworx Fantasy for dual Speed and Style. I didn't know you're such an artist. Are you actually drawing all that stuff?
I draw once in a while, like maybe 3 times a year. I'll sit down and draw something out. But whenever I have time.
So you draw stuff for your own helmets.
Yeah.
And then who won last night? And have you decided what your design is going to be for them?
I don't know. It'll probably be something pretty Canadian.
Yeah.
Just because, Yeah.
Like you waltz in here with a flannel on, falling trees. Like the trees just bow down to you as you walk through. Like she's so Canadian. The trees just give up.
That's right.
But Casey, I'm sure we got some questions in, but I want to ask you something. You're like probably one of the gnarliest bike riders I know, guy or girl. And we've been talking about a lot of the questions.
Actually, you know what? The originator of Death Grip right here. The originator of Death Grip.
Exactly. I was going to give you a hard time. I was going to say, Casey, real unique and creative name he had for his movie, huh?
Yeah. I don't know where he got that from, but
So, Casey, you've had so many
royalties. Have you got a royalty check yet?
You painted it,
But you like have this ability to kind of flip your brain off and do gnarly stuff, and there's not a lot of riders who have such a hair trigger on that switch like you. Death, where he stole the name for his movie from. An example of that. I think we're gonna bring that clip up here in a little bit. We're working on it, but you took the brakes off your bike. It has like almost 1 million views now, and you bombed this huge hill.
That is so gnarly.
What was up with that? I think that was the first like little step into the free ride realm that you did. And what was the max speed on that project?
it was 96K.
I'd be rounding it up big time.
Round
it up.
That's 100K an hour.
100K.
Handy, so it wasn't my idea, but went in there and thought I was just gonna start low, break off and be like a quarter of the run and be like a third, and then but I ended up whole from the because riding a bike with no brakes you're out of control from the get-go. So it's not like you can do many turns or anything without having much control. So
We just had an experience together that was pretty similar to riding a bike down a hill with no brakes. I don't know if we're free to talk about exactly what we did, but
you've seen firsthand how gnarly that is.
You're doing so many different disciplines, downhill racing, enduro racing, and you've been dipping into free ride probably more than any other girl in the scene. Do you want to do more free ride stuff? You've been doing a lot of the whip offs.
Yeah, I mean, ideally that's what I want to do. That's where I naturally gravitate towards in the past. So, yeah, I'd love to do more of that stuff in the future, and hopefully, yeah, we're gonna discuss what I'm gonna do next year in the next week. So yeah, who knows?
We have the clip. All right.
All right.
So this is exactly the spot where Brendog decided to steal the name for his movie when Casey Brown took the brakes off her bike and pinned it 100K down a hill. Yeah! That says 92!
That one did feel fast. Just lost the light. I want to do one more though, because I really need to go faster. The sun just went down, but oh well. Pedal into it this time.
Yeah! That says 92!
That one did feel fast. So, yeah, it's gnarly, yeah.
You were just talking about the G out, so
Yeah.
you trusted that run out obviously enough. Did you ride it with brakes first just to see what it's all about?
Rode it with brakes a few times first just to see. But that, yeah, it's like the G out at the bottom, you're holding on as hard as you can. Like all your grip strength is going into that G out. So yeah, it feels like, yeah, everything's counting on that. And that's like where you're going the fastest too, so yeah.
Whoa.
And then you just carry on, like you can't brake or anything, so you're just like bouncing over bushes and stuff.
I
Like,
had
trying
to
to
think
slow
of that.
down.
Yeah, she will that. You always just trust that they're there if you need
Yeah.
them, but if they're not there.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's such a weird feeling.
So we got a question. I think this one's for everybody, and probably appropriate for Casey right now because you're hurt, and you've definitely done your fair share of recovering from injuries. All of you guys have. They want to know, and this is probably something that's useful for everybody to know, because if you're riding mountain bikes, probably getting hurt. How do you get confidence back after an injury?
Well, I think the best thing to think about is what you can learn from that injury. Like any positives you can take away from having that injury is super important. And as long as you can go forward and grow from that, I think you're going to come away a stronger rider in the end and a smarter rider, and you're going to have more success in the future. So honestly, I don't regret any of the injuries I've had. I'm super thankful for the opportunities I've had to learn. So. Yeah.
My turn, is it?
Yeah, why
Go
not?
on then, Mike.
What was the question?
The question was from a YouTube viewer. How do you get confidence back after an injury?
Oh, tough.
You got your fair share, right? Didn't you have an ACL a couple years ago
I've
or
had
something?
2 ACLs.
2 ACLs.
My hand's been beaten up.
Yeah.
But I think just don't dwell on it, you know, and like you're in a sport where it's all calculated risks, you know, it's really like, you can't blame anyone else, you just have to blame yourself or your equipment, you know, and that's why you've got to like just go, okay, we'll go do it again, that's why I signed up for this. We're going to get back out there and kill it, you know. But for sure, some are easier than others to get over. Knees, as you all probably know, suck because you're always like stamping your feet and whatever, but we're all stupid, so we just get back on it and go fast.
You may be stupid, but people out there want to be like you, because this guy's wondering when your signature goggles are on sale.
Oh yeah, I think they're sold out.
Oh, that's a good thing.
But if they're not, you can get them, don't know. At the
So did
store
you only
website.
just make like 15 available so you
No,
could
we
say they
made
sold
3.
out and feel really cool about that?
I think we made
Dedicate
1600,
one to
yeah.
Carl.
Yeah.
1600.
Yeah,
Wow,
but yeah, that was
nice.
like a death grip like signature goggles. So,
Cool, that's dope.
but yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know where they are.
Ben Pinnock asks, do you think the new UCI format with smaller fields will impede the progress of young riders into the World Cup scene?
Is that for me or
That could be for all you guys. You guys all have experience in the World Cups. I didn't know that was actually happening. Did you know that was happening?
No.
No.
News, breaking
Well,
news
I mean,
here on
how
Pinkbike Live.
much smaller? They'll have to tell us.
Yeah, how about Ben Pinnock? You need to educate us on this so then we can give our opinion. Oh, perfect. That's
Just
the question
women or
for-
and men as well?
Less women and children can qualify?
Women and children.
Oh man.
I mean, at the end of the day, the top end of the field is still the top end of the field, so it's not going to impede on the racing, obviously.
This is true.
And
yeah.
hopefully then the smaller race series, they grow, go from strength to strength. That's obviously, not obviously, that's also what they're trying to do, is help
Yeah.
the smaller racing. And have people not just go straight into World Cup racing because it's daunting and it's not for everyone.
It's a big step.
Yeah, it's a big
Huge
step. Like you need to maybe start at your regional, national, and I think they want to figure that tier out better, because now it's just a bit wish-wash, and if you get some points at an easy race, you can go race a World Cup, but then you're getting 140th, you're not qualifying, you're spending all that money, you may be better served at like an IXS or Canadian National or whatever, British National.
Yeah, I feel the same with enduro. Like you have just people there that maybe are in over their head sometimes.
Yeah, it's no judgment. It's just like it takes time to get to a certain level, and you need to do grassroots racing and work your way up.
I mean, it's prestigious for a reason, so it makes
the same
sense.
in any sport, you know, like any top-end, high-level sport. You're not going to have like a Formula One or whatever and be like, oh, anyone can just come and just have a go.
Yeah, sign up.
It's like it's the top of the sport. It's the Formula One of mountain biking. It's like the fastest guys are there. You can't just come and turn up and roll up. There needs to be that special
qualifier
reserved for the prestigious few.
And
like there are lots of races. There are Crankworx races. There are national series all over the world. There are like IXSs or whatever. There's plenty of places to find your step, and then when you're at the top of that step, then you go, okay, I'm going to go do a World Cup.
Yeah, these events are a great
These
platform
are like
for
the
that.
World Cups.
Yeah.
There's like half the World Cup races are here.
And if you're racing an amateur category, you're riding the same track as all the pros. You're able to watch them during practice if you want to put in the time.
And that's where the Norbers, why they were strong, you know, like you went there and had quite big fields and you could race the same courses in your own time, you know.
Yeah.
There's no sport in the world that's like that, you know. You need to work your way there, and you can't be like, if you're not there, you're not there. Like we've all had it. All of us have been there. We've all been not fast enough to be at World Cup, and then you work your way up, and then you are. So it's like,
to progress the sport, you need to actually have a smaller field or the cream of the crop, so that you can build gnarlier courses and push the top limit. But if you're always having to cater for everyone, you can't progress as much.
Yeah, it's important to uplift like the top tier.
It's like the slopestyle, you know, there's only 20 dudes that are allowed in, and there's probably only 30, 40 dudes in the world that can ride that course properly.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's
they're
super
trying to
similar
get in.
too. Like the riders that want to get in on this, at least there is a big series of smaller level events. But similar to racing, like you were saying, for a young South African rider to make it to the World Cups, you got to travel. So that's what's tough for all those sports. I guess get in where you fit in and hammer it out at the lower level events and work your way up. That's probably how everybody really did it.
So we did it.
Which races are you doing here this week?
I'm doing pump track, whip off, and Canadian Open.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd like to do the speed and style like I always wanted to do it, but those guys are so gnarly with tricks now.
You got some flips and some threes.
Yeah.
You got threes, right?
Yeah. But whether I can do it every time into the jump going fast, I'm sure I could. I'd love to do it, and I always watch it, and it's super cool to watch. But I'll come back and do it again one time.
That'd be sweet.
Huh? Oh yeah, I won the first one. Oh yeah,
There you
in Whistler.
I'm gonna read this question just because I like this person's last name. Benjamin Victor Casey is wondering, this is a question for all of you, do any of you have a special diet? Or do y'all just go to Zogs and whip out the poutine every day?
Well, for me,
You actually used to be vegan or something, right?
No, but I like try and eat vegan,
Cliff bars
vegetarian.
the whole time.
Yeah. For every
yeah,
meal.
just this. No.
Cliff bar, Moni.
Yeah.
I just try and eat less meat and more of what makes my body feels good. I think it's just good to listen to your body and figure out what works best for you.
If you're gonna be abusing it so much, you might as well treat it so you balance it out.
Yeah, I mean,
you abuse your body.
I reckon like your food is your foundation, so I think you can cheap out on anything but your diet. I think. Yeah, I think it's good to spend good money on quality food.
That's
Even
good.
downers, like everyone thinks they just don't care and they're eating pizza, like they're training hard, and even Brendan is watching what he's eating.
Specimens.
Yeah, you don't get to look like this.
Body's a temple.
Eating crap.
Yeah.
No, everyone's, I think, watching what they eat, and she's right. I think we can all eat better. It's your fuel at the end of the day.
It's funny, like we were on this trail bike trip, and like every meal we'd have meat, and then we were thinking on the drive back, we were like, we should not eat meat. So we had like a pescatarian day yesterday.
Yeah.
Obviously it was Sushi Village in the evening, so we couldn't go full veggie.
Yeah,
We
not
went,
even an entire day.
Did
No.
you eat, but you ate bacon for breakfast.
Oh
you
yeah,
forgot
I
that.
forgot I ate
this morning,
bacon
did
for
you not?
breakfast.
Did you skip
No, I went veggie this morning.
Oh, good. So 24 hours. Yeah, we're good.
I've been doing it lately too, actually, believe it or not. But I had sushi last night.
Yeah.
I made it like 3 weeks or something like that.
Oh, you did? You went veggie 3 weeks?
I did, yeah.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
it's because there's this horrible documentary that my wife made me watch. And it's
Yeah,
all,
everyone's watching
What the
that.
hell?
the one, yeah, where they take
Yeah,
that,
she posted that.
man, they take that box knife and they cut into the chicken and the pus comes out. I was like, all right,
Oh.
beans it is.
Yeah.
Beans on toast.
Carrots it is. Oh, dangling the
Nasty.
carrot.
Ugh.
What in the world is this? Chicken Soup 444. How long until enduro overtakes downhill unless the venues start changing? Ooh.
What do you mean by
Getting edgy.
overtakes?
That's
I guess
not a thing.
Who's filtering these?
I don't think enduro can overtake downhill's like Formula One of biking.
But everything, it's nice when there's so many different disciplines too, right? Like,
Yeah, it's good to have variety. There's
And enduro is like a better participation sport for everyone out there. Like
For
I
sure.
understand it, you get more bang for your buck, but the core people are going to want to watch downhill. That's
Yeah.
progressing the sport.
Way
Enduro
easier to
is
watch.
as well, but it's more like everyday guy can go do an enduro. There's an everyday guy going to a World Cup or something like that. It's not really.
So
gonna
one's
happen.
like fantastic for participation for everybody, and the other one's like one of the best spectator sports in
Yeah,
all
it's
of
like
sport.
it's the fastest you
Two
can
different
go on a
things.
bike.
Yeah.
Fact, and it's
Yeah.
not taking away anything from the enduro riders. Like
Well, she went 100k an hour, dude.
yeah, with no
We
brakes.
don't do that.
So no, it's just horses for courses, and I think the enduro riders are amazing riders, especially on smaller bikes. They're going crazy fast.
totally two
They're
different sports,
two different
really.
things.
Yeah.
They're not kind of competing. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
The series just aren't competing.
Yeah. Awesome to have that variety, though.
Since you do everything, you have tons of variety in your riding.
Yeah.
And
Spice of life.
I always hate this question, but it is interesting to hear the answer. Which one is your favorite? Which one do you look forward to the most? And if you could only choose doing one competitive discipline, what would it be?
I just like hitting jumps.
Yes, she's gonna be a free rider.
Nice.
Yeah. That's
That
it.
makes
Yeah.
3 of us, or 4 of us, including KJ.
Yeah.
Just jumps.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson. The funnest thing about mountain biking is just catching air. So whatever discipline allows you to catch the most air. Are you gonna do world champs this year for downhill?
No, I didn't do any of the qualifications
Yeah.
for it. I have like so many other things on the go. Like my schedule's full.
Yeah.
So-
You say yes to absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I kind of put your name in for something that we probably both wish we said no to. And we were on this film shoot recently where we were both at the top of this. We won't specify what it was because I think they're trying to wait for that. But we were going to ride something that's just atrocious, like probably shouldn't be ridden. And when I rode it, I crashed, and I told Casey, like, Casey, it's a mandatory crash. Like, just want to let you know that. And she did not waver at all.
Mandatory
She had clipless
crash.
pedals on. What is it about these challenges that keeps you coming back? And I've never seen you actually say no to something.
Well, I think it's just a challenge in pushing the sport. I think that's super important, is just like always keep pushing the sport, because otherwise, I don't know, it becomes stagnant. You're either moving forward or you're moving back. You're not like ever standing still. So yeah, I think always a challenge I'm up for, and anything creative like what you invited me on, I'm super stoked to come along and
I think-
give it a good try.
I think some people want to make it political and be like, so what do you think about women in free ride? Like, should there be more women in free ride? And like, you know, wanting to make an issue out of it. Like, should there be women invited to Rampage? It's like, why don't you just look at the girls who are actually just doing it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's nobody else's
it's
fault.
up to
Like,
the women.
yeah,
It's
and
up
I'm
to
like,
the
just
chicks
look at
out
Casey
there.
Brown.
Yeah.
You do the whip off. Like, we've had you on like C3 project shoots where you're hitting all the same jumps as all of us.
Yeah.
You dropped into that atrocious thing, coming out in the TGR ski
I want to
film.
see that.
We're in a ski movie.
Yeah, we're in a
Oh,
ski movie.
awesome.
What in the world?
Yeah.
On bikes though, obviously.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
bikes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She could be on it on skis too, I think.
I
But
don't know.
is it the skiing influence that has enabled you to have that hair trigger for the go for it?
I think so for sure, because hitting jumps on skis, you can go way bigger with less consequence, and just like that air time you get so comfortable with. So yeah, definitely freestyle skiing helped me be super comfy in the air on big jumps. So
That's right.
yeah.
Well, do we have any more questions? We got one. Air or coil shocks, and why? Who wants to take this one?
Why me? I'm retired
You
now.
want a bike shop?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
So,
What do you want to sell more of? Plead your case.
The Scott Twin Lock air system. So anyway, no, I think front fork, like, it's a no-brainer with what they're doing. Like, it's lighter, it's infinitely tunable
For an air.
you know, for
Yeah.
air. But in saying that, I used to always race coil mostly for feel. I really liked the sensitivity on the small bump, and I got better sensitivity from a coil. So it depends on your preference. If you're going lightness and you want a light bike like for enduro, it makes more sense going air and air, but the rougher the track gets and the more grip you need and more traction you need, consecutive bumps and small bumps, then coil is better. So there's a trade-off, pros and cons to both.
What will you run for Rampage? In the rear, coil or air?
Air.
Yeah.
Just you can pump that thing right up, make it super hard.
Yeah.
And it's also way lighter. So when I do my sketchy threes and flips and whatever.
And for just carrying your bike up to the top of the hill.
And for pushing your bike up, dude.
And you don't have to like bag, barter, and steel to get that stiffest coil.
Yeah.
You just put a little bit more time in.
For sure, it'll be an air shock today, yeah.
The new air shocks are just so good.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
insane.
No, they really are. Like everyone's
290.
Oh yeah.
290 psi.
Whatever it says on the thing, the max,
Yeah.
right up to the limit.
Yeah, that's more than the limit.
All right, do we have any more here?
Oops.
So I guess this is for anybody. This is just an opinion piece on current events. Was Aaron Gwynn's run at Mount St. Anne the best run of all time? That was pretty mind-boggling.
In my opinion, no. Like, I'm a huge fan. He's like an awesome rider, but you got to remember Danny.
Yeah.
He was a second
Chempery.
behind. No, they're the same race.
Oh,
dude.
the same race. Yeah,
Luke,
you're talking about the same
Luke,
race. Yeah.
Danny, the few guys were like within a second, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure it was good, but not the best of all time.
I feel like the smaller guys are way more exciting to watch because they're like everything they do looks like so much effort.
Yeah.
The big guys
So
just
much effort.
well, everything the big guys do, they're just like do do do. Oh, I'm 5 seconds up. The little guys are like pedaling out of every single corner, like getting super sketchy because they don't have much weight for getting grip and stuff. So
I'd say like his run in Leogang when he did it without a chain is probably more of an achievement.
And he's
I
won.
agree.
Like I rode down there and it was rainy, but it was grippy. Like the worst thing about that was visibility. You know, like I went off the start and I was like, I'm not in the points here. I don't really want to hurt myself, but I went off and I hit the first turn. I was like, right, it's on. I'm just going, and I like went super hard. And it was like the only bad thing was the puddles, like were hiding the holes, and the rain on your goggles. Once you get over that, it was actually grippy and manageable.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But
but
I'd say Gwynny's run in Leogang was more of a feat, you know, like no chain, dude, on a what we always thought was a pedally track. That's pretty insane.
And if you bench racing, which I am now, like it could have easily been Danny's race. You know, it was only a second or two. Gwyn to go, you know, like at the end of the day, worse conditions, but not really. You know, they're the same. I think his runs where he beats everyone on the same track at Val de Sol a couple of years back by 3 to 5 seconds, or you know, that's a run. It's like everyone had the same conditions and you beat them by 5. Now it's like you beat Danny by 1 or 2, you know, it could have easily been the other way.
Can't forget about Danny in that race.
It's an amazing run. He was
and
doing
Lurik,
like different lines
was
and
also
stuff.
like two seconds off.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of gap, but it's not like 5 where you're like, how did he do that? It's not how did he do that. It's like, yeah, he won.
Yeah.
But Danny equally, or Loic.
It made for such a good show though, because I remember sitting there watching it going, all right, this race is over. And then Danny comes through, you're like, there's a chance. Like, we actually could be excited after this.
Yeah,
like,
it's
we're
great.
seeing green.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't, it's not mind-boggling that he won.
No.
Because you're like, shit, no, like Jack Moy went fast, the guys are doing good splits. And then you're like, there's a race, you know?
Yeah.
But if it was like everyone was not coming within 10 seconds, and then Gwyn goes and wins, you're like, shit, you did something different.
Yeah.
Great run. Like, you can't take anything away from it.
Ooh, somebody from YouTube asking Casey, will you ride Rampage ever?
I would never say no to an invitation. But
She never says no to an invitation.
But when people like our dog are like not getting the invite fully, like he's third alternate, I feel like I'm so far away from that.
The good thing is, like, the event is one thing, but that stuff just sits out there waiting to be ridden in the desert all year.
Yeah.
So there's nothing stopping you from going out there and dropping whatever line you
Oh, I
want.
see what you've done there.
Dangling that carrot.
Okay, maybe
It's scary though.
You can
like,
go do my line if you want.
Thank
And
you.
just make sure it works.
Yeah.
Give me the speed.
Yeah, I'll be your guinea pig.
Yeah, just write down the speeds and whatever, and I'll go.
I
Yeah.
think the main tip she could give you is just ride it during daylight. Yeah.
Daylight hours only.
Helps so
Okay,
much.
All right, yeah, sweet.
But I'm always afraid to like if anybody's gonna offer you up an idea, you're gonna say yes no matter what. So like film crews, they just need to watch out because they can come up with horrible ideas and you're gonna be like, yeah, sure, I'll go for it.
I'll think
Is there
that for the
anything that you
next
said
movie.
no to that you feel that you know should have
Regret.
done, or is that why you say yes to everything?
I don't like it. It's got to be coming from someone I trust. Like
Yeah.
coming from you doing that last thing in Yeah, so it's got to come from someone that I fully trust. Like, I'm not going to just be like, this guy wants me to go right off this mountain. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be like, I got to be smart about it too.
Keep your eyes on this girl, because all these people wondering if the women's category for free ride is ever going to improve. Just look at all the other sports: surfing, snowboarding, skiing. Like the stuff the girls are doing, it's ridiculous. The amateur men aren't doing anything close to what the girls are doing. So I think, you keep leading the charge like this. Yeah, moto, come on.
Yeah.
So I think it just takes somebody to grab the reins, and that's kind of what you're doing right now. So quit messing up your AC joints so you can keep breaking down some barriers.
Fair enough.
Enough.
All right.
Okay, team,
Roost or whip?
which do you prefer, roost or whips? That's a good one.
Whips.
Whips.
Roost.
Yeah.
Only because we've got the
can't whip.
Death Grip Ultimate Roost competition.
Oh, what is
out
this?
now.
Let's hear it.
Shameless plug.
No
The
way.
Death Grip Ultimate Roost competition. Basically, there's 10 grand up for grabs. There's a brand new Scott Gambler. There's a load of GoPro stuff, full Troy Lee kit.
10 grand of prizes.
10 grand of prizes, yeah.
Rad.
And
What do you got to do to
you
win?
just have to do a picture or video of you doing the best roost.
Put it on Instagram or
Put
something?
hashtag Death Grip Ultimate Roost. And then in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to judge them. And whoever's got the sickest one gets that prize.
Yes, that's a cool way
Get
of
on it.
embracing this whole, what do you call
Can
it,
you win your own
Insta-TV.
prize?
Could do.
Yeah. Are you going to be submitting?
Yeah, are you going to be submitting?
Have you seen the South Africa section?
Yeah, can
Yeah.
I be in it?
Yeah.
No shortage of roost in Death Grip.
Yeah, so you just gotta, on Facebook or on Instagram, just put hashtag Death Grip Ultimate Roost, put your picture up or your video, and then I'm gonna be judging in like 2 or 3 weeks time, and then big prize.
That's cool.
That's sweet.
So whips, roost. He's only
Yeah.
choosing roost because he has something to plug.
How about you, Cam? What do you prefer?
Oh man, I have to say roost actually.
All
Like, that's my
right.
favorite thing about mountain biking. I think losing traction and then all of a sudden getting it again. I don't think that's something that will ever get boring.
We were talking about that
That's true.
yesterday, like when you're grom, and now, you do a roost, you look back at your roost, you're like, yeah, that was a sick one.
Yeah.
We still do that now, like that's super cool. That's a
I
cool
run
thing.
like not the best tire choice, and I run way too much pressure in my
So
tires.
sick roost.
Like on purpose. Like I'll have a tire that I know is gonna be faster, and I'll just put on like one that's not as good and skinnier and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and pump it all the way up. And I don't know, getting that back tire sliding out. The front tire too, if you can have.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I like most about Death Grip.
I'll
is how
look
much
out
roost
for
it has.
your
I gotta submit.
submission, yeah,
I got
dude.
some spots, man. Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
submit. You guys all go out there and submit to hashtag Death Grip Roost of
Ultimate
Mania or
Roost.
whatever. Hashtag Death Grip Ultimate Roost.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, this is a good one. Okay, 2 more questions. We're gonna take this one because right behind us we've got the demise of the GLC drop, but the rise of the GLC jump, and I'm sure everybody has their opinions. What's better, the old GLC drop or what we have now, the GLC jump?
I haven't ridden that.
You haven't ridden
I
it
didn't
yet.
even see it.
Yeah. So the GLC drop is iconic in Whistler. You're zooming in on what's there now. It's that big landing right there, right there. That used to be a drop where you'd come off, throw your shotgun to everybody on the GLC patio right here. But they smashed it out. Now it's like probably a 30-foot jump or something like that.
Whoa.
Not so good for roost, but really good for whips. Have you tried it?
I have not, but I have a feeling there's going to be more carnage. Is there going to be more carnage?
It can't be any more than the drop.
No.
That was
That's a
gnarly.
valid point.
Yeah, the worst is when you came hauling in there on a practice run or not, and someone's like, "Ooh, what's this?" And
Yeah.
you're like, "Ah."
And you're also like at the end of the race, look at all these people watching me,
Yeah.
let's go huge.
But now I think it's actually like flippable, spinnable. I think Reese
Whoa.
Wallace has been front flipping it and stuff.
Whoa.
Okay, well then I rest my case. More
Yeah.
carnage.
Yeah, exactly. I think for entertainment value, everybody eating their curly fries and dipping their nachos.
Oh,
in
that's a
sour
good
cream.
idea actually right now.
I think there's going to be more entertainment. Have you hit it yet?
I have, yeah. It's nice. It's got a huge lip on it, so it's nice and lofty. You just float over. And it's
I'm a
pretty
fan.
Easy, so.
I think the GLC drop was so cool to have. It was so iconic because I remember Gareth Dyer in 2003 doing a heel clicker off of it. So it's a bummer that it's gone. Moment of silence for the GLC drop.
Okay.
But it's nice to have the jump now. Is that it, guys? What do you think?
One more,
One
he
more
said.
question. Okay, cool.
Better be
Never
good.
one more.
Never one
Never
more.
one
We'll have
more.
another.
So
Have
drop
another.
your helmet. Never say one more. All the mountain bike
We're having 2 more and
superstitions.
skipping the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, geez.
So another
Should we do
one.
the wheel one? Oh, you want it, yeah, because
what?
Pinkbike loves the controversy.
The debate on, is it
The
a wheel
debate.
size debate?
Yeah, come on. We
Oh,
talked
no,
about it
I got
yesterday,
somebody
too.
to
Yeah,
beat.
I'm out. Do you think there should be a wheel size standard for downhill racing?
27.5.
I don't know. I like all the wheel sizes. They're great.
So we talked about Tracy Hanna yesterday, and I think she had a really good point. It's like, what size shoe do you wear? What size shoe do you wear? Are you all going to wear the same size shoe because one's bigger and has more surface area? I think it has to fit you as a rider,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
Like, you guys could probably get away with, 29-inch wheels. You're doing it anyways just because you're a freak of nature. You're not the tallest person.
No, and that's an insanely built, well-built bike. I mean, it feels so good as a 29er.
Well, that's a valid point for the customer. I think, like horses for courses and the bikes are clearly, everyone's developing, and now 29er is in downhill, but you saw not everyone had the testing done, or not everyone was suited to it, and they've quickly gone back to 27.5. So I think that's good news for the customer out there, like not knowing what to buy, let's pump the brakes, let's figure
I've
it
got a
out.
sweet idea.
I think you should
29
standardize
for
it,
enduro, 27 for downhill, 26 for slopestyle.
Yes.
Done.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Would you run the same
think so.
snowboard for every type of snowboarding? Probably not.
No.
No.
So
but I
whatever's
don't think
best
a
for the
standardized
application.
is a bad thing. They do it in F1, they do it in all sports. You'll develop around that if they standardize.
Here's my question: is
the
it
wheels.
ridiculous to have a rule that you can't have a different front wheel size as rear wheel size? Because that's a rule right now.
I think so. If you're allowing them to just do any wheel size,
Yeah.
then why can't the one be different?
Because I think that might
don't
be
know, as
great for a
weird
lot
as
of
that
people.
sounds.
A big wheel up front, you're going to smash over things. You're going to have the benefits of a bigger wheel. But then the rear wheel, your butt's not going to be smacking on it. You can go smaller in there.
That's such dangerous thing about downhill. About 2029 on the downhill, so many people are catching their butt on the tyre. Jeez, like if you do a hard downhill run, you've normally got like marks on your butt, from where you're like right off the back hanging, getting every little tiny centimetre or inch out of it. And that's how I've crashed trying it, like G crashed. There's been a ton of people that have misjudged it. So
At the end of the day, you have to be able to ride the bike.
yeah, exactly. But I like what you said. It's how if it fits you.
Yeah. And for Rampage, people are going off of steep cliffs and flipping things,
Yes.
and a lot of bike companies aren't making 26-inch downhill bikes anymore
Yeah.
for free ride. So I think it's dangerous to have guys out there trying to do the stuff they want to do at Rampage with their butt that close to the tire.
Super sketchy.
So I guess the
So
debate rolls
27.5
on.
is the one.
There we go.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. We talked about a lot of stuff. It was good catching up with y'all.
Thank you.
This is day 2 at
Thanks for
Crankworx
having us.
Whistler. We're going to be doing a whole lot more of these Pinkbike lives. So tune back in. Good luck to you guys who are competing out here. We'll see you on the next one.